and have you heard, Lily?
What?
Colton's a virgin.
What? Hello! Spilled coffee everywhere. Welcome!
Back to the Bachelor Buds.
To the Bachelor Buds. Week 3.
Got 3 weeks in, 3rd week, in case you weren't counting.
I'm Lily.
And I'm Jake.
We're the Bachelor Buds.
And we're going to talk about this hot mess.
Who's on the group date, Jake?
Oh, we got Heather, Demi, Courtney, Kaylin, Hannah B, Tracy, and no one else really got mentioned during this date. It was really
probably some of the girls who went home.
Yes.
At the end. But it's a pirate date. Yo ho ho.
Cruising for a booty.
Shiver me timbers.
Not till marriage. But anyways, the whole date in its entirety is designed to really just egg on Kaylin and Hannah B.
Well, and Kaylin's not even like involved at this point. She's like not worried about Hannah. Hannah is very worried about Kaylin.
Very worried. And Hannah B is the one who had that terrible first date with him.
Yeah, exactly. Like.
So the odds are not in her favor.
No.
So she gets to be the villain.
Yeah.
Hooray.
Great.
Great for Hannah. Clearly, they wanted Kaylin to be the winner, to be able to be on the show. Because when she was paired up against Hannah B, she didn't even put up a fight.
She didn't even try. And they put her against Tracy, the biggest pushover on the show.
The entire group. Of course she's gonna win, and then go save Colton, which is the show that they're involved in. They have to beat each other up, and then go save Colton from the little crow's nest.
Pirate smooch.
Yeah. Except I don't think they did kiss.
I don't know.
I don't think they did, and then they talked about it later.
Yeah, I missed that part. I guess it was like awkward.
I think it is awkward because of how they already knew each other.
Yeah.
And they were like, ooh, I don't know, and then...
Well, I think Colton is also like more sensitive to the other women than like bachelors we've seen in the past.
That's true.
They were not only were they in front of an audience of like strangers, they were in front of an audience like of these other women that he's dating. And I feel like maybe he just got like self-conscious about like, oh, like I don't want to like make like a big thing because they were like cheering. I don't know. It's like awkward to like have the guy you're dating like cheer on like this other girl who's like kissing him. So maybe he just got
a little performance anxiety.
So anyway, so she wins, and then they have a cocktail party in this like antique store. This is where Heather decides to like give Hannah B advice on like how to handle the Kaylin situation, which doesn't exist yet.
Nope.
There's no situation other than that they don't like each other.
It's all of it. Never been kissed.
Which is fine. Like, it just, I feel like on top of not having been kissed, she is just like inexperienced in general. Like.
And very excited to be in on this drama,
right.
But not involved.
She's just like immature, and that has nothing to do with like not having been kissed or like being a virgin or anything like that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying Heather is acting like a child.
Gotta be kissed.
And like,
it is her job, Lily.
I know. Like giving Hannah this terrible advice, because like you never want to be the first person to like bring up an issue.
No. You don't.
To the Bachelor or Bachelorette.
Because the Bachelor or Bachelorette is just gonna like shut down.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna stop. We can't do anything else with any of these other contestants.
And they're always gonna see you as the person who has the issue.
Yep.
Just worry about yourself. It's like no one has ever seen this show before.
I know. Like this
except Demi.
Particularly.
I feel like Demi has watched.
Demi has seen all of them. She was throwing her turkey leg up on the stage. She spanked Colton during their one-on-one time.
I didn't like that. Because that was like definitely like not consensual, and he was like very uncomfortable.
Yeah. I think overall Demi makes Colton uncomfortable. But then she got another moment, that Demi, when she had to lay it all out there with Tracy and Courtney. Courtney got into the fray this time because Demi stole Colton from her.
And Courtney like didn't like Demi's tone of voice or something, and she like said, well, she like let her know that like, hey, maybe you want to be like nicer or something, and Demi just like wasn't having it. And honestly, like they shouldn't No one should start anything with Demi.
Instantly, Courtney backed down.
Yeah!
Because Demi just, like, gutted her, like, you didn't like my tone? Like,
And
I'm sorry.
You're not gonna win against Demi. You're just not.
No, Demi.
She's vicious. She's mean.
Her mom is in federal prison. She's not going down without a fight.
She doesn't give
She'll
up.
run you over with her ATV.
Then, Hannah goes to Colton and is like, telling him about how she and Kaylin were roommates at Miss USA.
Yeah.
And then...
No focus on, like, their connection at all. We were just going instantly into Kaylin.
But there's, like, no specifics offered by her about Kaylin either. And she's like, things just took a turn and she became very negative. And Colton, she stops talking.
Yeah.
And Colton's like, well, was she manipulative? And Hannah's like... Which is just letting his imagination run wild, because he's like, was she toxic? Was she abusive? Was she mean? Like, and Hannah's just kind of, like, demurely, like, shrugging and raising her eyebrows.
Ridiculous.
I want to know exactly what happened. I don't want to hear them toss these stupid, like, adjectives back and forth.
That are meaningless.
That are meaningless without, like, specifics of what, like, who did what to whom.
But all she does offer up is that if he has feelings for Kaylin, there's no way that he could have feelings for someone like her.
Yeah, she's like, we're so different that I don't see how you could be interested in both of us, and that freaks Colton the fuck out.
And it totally backfired on him.
Yeah.
This is not how I thought it would play out.
This is not what I want.
Because he freaks out.
This is not what I planned.
And he immediately goes for Kaylin
And
to
I
get
just
clarification.
gotta say, I do not understand. So, Kaylin gets the group date rose.
Surprise,
And
surprise.
Hannah is shaken to her very core. And next, we have a one-on-one date.
With Elise.
Elise.
Sweet little Elise. It's the highlight, I gotta say, of this whole episode.
It was cute. So, Elise gets in a helicopter with Colton. They're like flying high. And then they get to a carnival, and he's like, actually, this isn't, isn't a one-on-one, it's a group date.
She's pissed.
But it's a bunch of kids from Colton's charity.
Wow.
We're gonna test your maternal instincts on national TV.
Oh.
She's withering away before our eye.
I know, we gotta, like, really get in there. Do you already have the skills for this job? Like, gotta find out now.
Seriously.
Early on. We gotta put Elise here through the ringer.
But she's very into it.
She's very into it.
Hanging out with these kids at like a carnival.
She's feeling like it's her opportunity to see if Colton is dad material.
Yeah, it's a two-way street because she's like not totally sold on him right now either because of the age difference.
Yeah.
It's like refreshing to see a contestant who is not like, I'm ready to marry him no matter what. Like, he's perfect because he's the Bachelor, and instead is like, I'm interested in this person and like I like him, but I'm here to like test it and like figure out like
to date them.
To date them
and not to like win.
And then they go on a nice child-free dinner.
Happy for them.
Which is like the benefit of watching someone else's kids.
Right.
You get to give
gonna
them
borrow these children
back. Elise is like really into Colton. She sees that he is really good with kids. There
was this one point I wrote down where Colton told Elise, "Oh, you're so strong-minded," and she just like collapses into giggles. Start to get serious like with their conversation over dinner because Colton's like, "What makes you a person so wonderful like you?" Elise is like, "Let me tell you."
She does this like really heavy story about her sister,
and how she got pregnant and was pregnant.
She was a nurse, right?
Yes. And then during the pregnancy, they found out that she had cancer.
And so she like kept the pregnancy and basically like passed away. It like put her body through a lot of like stress and trauma in order to like bring her child like into the world.
And then she died.
She died. And like baby is like alive and like that's great and like they have that new member of their family, but it was just a very sad story.
Yeah. She talked about how they have a charity set up in her memory. So she's also got a charity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Elise's tragic backstory. I think this is the first tragic backstory that we've seen so far.
Yeah.
She was very, like, poised
Mm-hmm.
about talking about it. I think she was ready.
Yeah.
I'm sure she knew she was going to talk about it at dinner from the moment she saw what the date was. Yeah.
And Colton, I don't think he had a lot to say.
No, I don't think he
But,
had.
I mean, what do you say other than, like, thank you for being, like, open with me and, like, trusting me?
I'm a virgin.
And a country music band played.
And it was so amazing
It was
to hear
amazing.
them play.
What was
Tennille,
their name?
Tennille Arts.
Tennille Arts. Yeah.
So,
all of a sudden, they're, like, making out in front of all these people, like, with their phones.
right, let's have this very quiet, like, intimate moment about, like, our traumatic past.
Yeah.
And then let's go make out in front of a crowd. So, that brings us to
Another
our
group
last
date.
group date. End of the evening. And I didn't think it was quite as exciting as our first swashbuckling group date.
I'm trying to remember.
It was where Terry Crews and Rebecca Keane came up
Oh, yeah.
to find Colton's strong woman.
I love Terry Crews.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love Terry Crews? So, Colton says he wants, like, a strong woman.
And they're taking that literally.
Yeah.
And gonna make everyone do some push-ups and pull-ups.
He stretches out Sydney.
Oh, she was showing off her flexibility all day.
She's a dancer. Colton's not a stretching virgin anymore. Stupid line.
That is a very stupid line.
It makes
But
no
it's
sense.
another virgin joke, so we gotta put it in there.
And then they go into a competition.
Of American Bachelor Warrior.
Where they make them do these, like, stupid physical challenges.
They have to, like, pull the limo,
Oh
like,
my God.
behind them.
Anyeka doesn't understand how this show works.
She has no idea.
Oh, I ran track in college. Like, I'm here for it. Like, as we were talking about last week, she's very competitive.
Yeah. And if I win the challenge, obviously I win Colton. That's
right.
how it works.
She was like, I'm just thinking the first person across the finish line is the first person to get a rose. And I'm like, that's not true.
It's not. You
But
get this cool
Anyeka
little
won.
trophy.
Right. Anyeka won, but it was like a trophy. It wasn't a rose. And they go into a cocktail party.
The big thing with Caitlyn.
Oh, yeah.
See? Who? Caitlin's kind of behind, and I'd like to kind of fix that
Like,
tonight.
get to know her. And he's like, so, I want to get to know you. Like, tell me about your life. And she's like, tonight was amazing. I don't have anything to talk about. My life's been really good, and today was great.
Colton is trying so hard. I have to admit, this is the
Yeah.
hardest I've ever seen Colton just try.
Yeah.
Why are we defending Colton right now?
I don't
What happened? What happened? He's not wearing underwear. Just a reminder. Not wearing underwear, and then he sends Caitlyn home.
It was great. So he's just like, I am gonna walk you out because I don't think we like have a connection. I didn't like that he like tried to hold her hand and she was like, I don't want to hold hands with you, Colton. And then he like tried to like put his arm around her.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was like, I get that he was like trying to like be comforting and like not seem like a really bad guy, but just like respect boundaries like at that point.
And that kind of moves us on. Everyone's paranoid after that because they're like, oh, Colton could just kick me off right now.
Poor, what's her name? Caitlyn. She was like in the limo, or not limo, in the car like home. She was like, maybe he'll realize that he made a mistake and like remember that it's still at home. And I was like, oh, stop talking.
But then we have a morning with everyone else. Everyone's all paranoid and worried that he could just walk in right then and cut someone else in front of everyone.
And then Chris Harrison walks in and he's like,
Not
ladies, there's not gonna be a cocktail party. And everyone's like,
We're just gonna go do a rose ceremony right now.
but wait,
Waiting.
there is gonna be a pool party.
Oh, break out the sunscreen, baby.
This group of contestants turns into like a crowd at a boy band concert very quickly.
Well, they're all 23.
Yeah. Chris Harrison is like, you're gonna be by the pool, Colton's gonna have his shirt off, and they're like, yeah! They all like scream just at the very thought of Colton being shirtless by the pool.
But But let me tell you, this pool party is not the fun affair that has been promised. It is a masterful piece of producing.
Oh, yeah. He has a little bit of a moment with Hannah G, right?
Because she's all self-conscious.
She didn't get a date, but, like, I feel like she's gonna win, because she's the most boring person there.
Yeah, just, like, in the way that he looks at her whenever they're talking.
Mm-hmm.
He's only ever smiled.
Like, she's very attractive to men. She's a small, blonde, quiet woman. And she seems very sweet. Yeah. It's not that she's, like...
But we haven't seen a lot yet.
Yeah. So, Hannah and Colton have a little moment, and then, I don't know, Demi, like, rubs some oil on Colton.
Everyone's mad that Demi is touching Colton.
Colton was, like, a freaking, like, Labrador, like, in the pool. He, like, pushed some girls off the float. He's seriously, like, a big dog.
Yes, it's all fun and games there at the pool party.
Yeah.
Until we bring out our favorite duo again. Frickin' frack over here. Hannah and Heather.
Why is she still taking advice from Heather?
It went so wrong the first time.
Now she's like, she's gonna talk crap about you, and you gotta, like, get out ahead of her and, like, keep this up. And
which, to be fair, turned out to be true. Kaylin did wind up going back to talk about Hannah, but in defense of what happened.
Right! Like, Hannah's the one who started this whole thing.
A whole ordeal.
And Hannah's like, before Kaylin does go and talk about her, Hannah's like, she better not talk crap about me. There's a beautiful monster inside of me waiting to come out, and does that, like, stupid roar.
Right on cue. Who walks by? But Colton and Kaylin.
Yeah. Like, holding hands.
Holding hands right by them.
So funny. It was very well produced.
And so Colton goes and talks to Kaylin about their drama. And what does Kaylin do? She goes back and says the exact same thing. They're
using the same word. They're like, she's manipulative and, like, a liar and fake or something.
Toxic, deceitful.
Toxic and deceitful.
Which Colton just can't wrap his head around.
Colton, but, like, he can't even ask for specifics. I don't understand what's so hard about him just saying, like, okay, you saying she's a liar, what has she lied about?
Yeah.
Instead, he's just like, she's a liar, but she said you were the liar. I don't know what to do. And so
Chris!
Colton disintegrates. He can't handle it.
No, he can't.
Because he doesn't know who to believe. I feel like there's a goodness inside of that, like him wanting to believe, like,
both of them.
Both of them? But they both of them can't be lying.
No. Or can they?
Maybe.
They're both great people, and neither of them are liars or deceitful or toxic.
Maybe.
Oh, we go off-road. We've got the running around camera. You see, like, the Rachel from Unreal character, like, in her, like, sunglasses and, like, tank top in the background with the walkie, like, turning around. Like,
yeah, it's got, like, the water bottle. Colton's like, we gotta talk.
We gotta camera.
Yeah, so Colton, like, goes and talks to producers and, like, vents, and he's like, I really like both of them. I don't know what to do. I feel like he's almost afraid to ask, like, for specifics.
Yeah.
He needs to figure out what's happening, because I want to know what the fuck happened. Meanwhile, all the other women are, like, pissed because they're not only do they have no cocktail party, now they have no pool party, because Colton's just, like, in the corner.
In the garage.
Crying. Anyeka's like, I had something else planned for him, and I feel like he would have liked that more than listening to two pageant queens talk about their drama. But it's like he chose to listen to two pageant queens talk about their drama.
I know you were really excited about your prop.
Whatever prop production gave you this week. That brings us to the rose ceremony.
It's very predictable.
It is the least suspenseful rose ceremony I've ever seen. There were, like, 3 girls who didn't get any screen time this week.
But it gets down to Nina, Catherine, and Bree, and Hannah B.
3 who's that are all blonde women.
Elise just had a great date, and she was safe from the start. Hannah G.
She had a rose.
Yeah,
already.
from the date.
Yeah.
Safe from the start. Hannah G. We just had the conversation about how she was safe. Taisha, didn't see a lot of her, but glad to see her move on.
Yeah.
Katie, Cassie.
Katie's really sexy.
Katie is really sexy.
Really sexy.
Yes.
And she and Colton, like, they had that conversation where
they
were like, we like all the same things. You like sushi? I like sushi.
Let's be best friends.
And he, like, was touching her, like, leg.
It was intimate. Cassie, Kirpa, Sydney, very flexible, Nicole, Kaylin, Demi, Tracy,
Duh.
paired with Demi, Courtney, Heather, Onyeka, and Hannah B.
I know about 90% of them now, which is like faster than I have before.
Right? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 of them left. That's manageable.
Yeah. And Hannah is like, oh, I feel like he giving me the last rose was like a way of chastising me, which it kind of was, but I mean, she was acting a fool this whole week, letting Heather tell her what to do.
How long do you think this situation goes before it just collapses in on
I
itself?
think they're going to have another week of them going back and forth, and then the week after there will be a 2-on-1.
Yeah.
And he's going to pick Kaylin.
Probably when he's going to jump over the fence. Here, boy! Here, Colton!
Bye, everybody.
Clink.
He looks like a golden retriever drank that happily ever after potion from Shrek 2.
Yes! And he turned into a football player. Airbud! There's no rule that says dogs can't play football. And then start a charity. And live
Airbud,
happily ever after.
golden receiver.
Wide receiver. Not till marriage. Or until he finds the right person.